Alright. This should actually be live. So hi, I didn't have a vlog last week because there were a bajillion things going on for me. One of which was my birthday. So happy birthday to myself. I was born on the first day of spring, so it's always pleasant when like you look forward to your birthday specifically because it's the change of a season from like dreary shit weather that I can't do anything to like, oh my god, it's all nice outside and shit, except it's still fucking freezing and like literally below freezing, raining, cloudy, and just muck. That makes me sad, but it's okay. Um, Actually, I don't personally know anyone that suffers from like, it's it's not the technical name for it, but it's like seasonal depression disorder, or something of the sort, where you like actually get depressed in the fall when the sun's not out. I would really really hate to live in Iceland with David, if I had a disorder like that, because that would just suck. Honestly, though, I think like if I could stick to like one climate where it would be just either cold or relatively hot all year, all season, I'd do okay with that. It's just like in Pennsylvania, you go through ridiculously hot, like 110-degree summers with like 90% humidity to like 5-degree winters. It just fucking sucks. Really fucking sucks. But it's okay, because I will not actually be living here all that much more. So I don't know. I kind of wanted to do like a somewhat serious vlog, but I decided to say fuck that. I was actually, so I noticed today when when I like got up, I got a haircut and then I went down to practice, and I noticed that the first thing I do when I sit down to practice that I had like never really noticed before is I unbutton my pants, and I don't know, it's just kind of like and I do it like all the time regardless of what piano I'm using, or like where the fuck I am. So that was kind of funny. So I hope you can get a somewhat of a kick out of that. So what did I get for my birthday? I have an assortment of things here to show you, which the hallmark of this, like the keystone, is this. Now, like you're saying, what in the fuck? Why are you holding a dildo? No, it is not actually a dildo. It is a nutmeg grinder. And it has like you can hold your nutmeg in here. I don't want to get nutmeg all over my hands, but like, see, some nutmeg that I've already ground. I use nutmeg a lot in my cooking. And it has like a grater on this side. But I'm sure you could use it as an incredibly masochistic dildo. Like how that would be fucked up, man. To have that'd be fucked up. All right, so yeah, it even has like, this is completely unnecessary here. You can't actually take the top of it off. I don't think so. No, you can't. So it just like, what the fuck? So, but regardless, it is quite effective. I've been using it already. What else did I get? This is actually kind of a cool story. My great grandmother, the majority of my family is from Germany, and my great grandmother was she passed away. God, it's been a fair amount of time, at least 10 years at this point. But she lived in Germany all her life, and my mom, whenever she went to see her, would spend a lot of time with her, and she gave her this pen set. It's like a pen and pencil set. So my great grandmother could write her letters. It was kind of like a matching one that she had, and my grandparents are moving right now. And my grandmother, when she went back to take care of her mom's things in her estate after she passed away in Germany, she came across that pen set. So my mom gave that to me, which is kind of cool. So not only is it an awesome pen set, but it kind of has some history behind it. I got an electric razor, which is awesome, because I go through like a bajillion razors, and like B, I have very bony cheeks, and it's really fucking annoying to straight razor that. I actually have to like dry razor, and I get weird skin irritation and shit. There. What else did I get? Oh, and C, it's like I don't have to spend 8 bajillion years shaving my legs again in the summer. So that is so awesome. That was pretty much. Oh, I got a pressure cooker too. I can't actually like physically bring that. But I'm making some soup on Friday when I don't have to go out and I'm not working and shit. It's gonna be fucking tastic. Got some pig's feet and pork bones and shit, so that should be quite tasty. Garlic and ginger ahoy. And I got a brush pen for writing kanji. You know brush pens? They have like, it's like literally a pen, but the tip is a brush, and you can use ink for it. Various ink, whatever you. I think this actually needs to use an adapter, but I would be like 99% sure a fountain adapter would work pretty well. You can see my painful attempts at trying to write kanji. They like progressively getting less fail. This is actually, what is it? This one's actually pretty fucking good, if I may say so myself. But the rest of them, no, pretty fail. Yeah, so that was it. I've also I've come to a point in my life where I have decided to actually like flip shit on its head and see where. Let me pause this for a second. Heard something outside that was, I don't know. I don't know if you could actually hear it or not. But yeah, I've come to a point in my life where I've decided to flip shit on its head. I was going to like actually go to law school in the fall actually, but I decided to take around a year off from that and actually go to Japan to study for a little bit. I figured that it'd not only give me a little, not like a break, because it's pretty fucking intensive. Not only just trying to get around and survive displaced from your home country in a language you speak. My speaking ability is not great. My reading comprehension and ability is far superior. That's kind of the way I roll with as far as foreign languages go. My German's pretty good. Like if you were to give me shit to read and write, I could pass off for someone who is relatively decent native level, but as far as speaking goes, I'm okay. But I definitely have to brush up my German at some point too. So I figured that I would take a year off and I would go ahead and apply next year, and in the meantime determine what the hell I actually want to do with my life, because I don't know. There are always things that I can use for like it would be a good experience. A good experience for me. It looks fine on my resume and application wherever I happen to be applying to grad school. I definitely still think grad school is something that I do want to do, but I'm not exactly sure what that would be in yet. Music theory is definitely like one of my kind of my most I would get the most enjoyment out of a degree from there, but like the job prospects for it, I would have to get a PhD, which isn't that much added work, all things considered, having spent like 18 bajillion years in school. I mean, what is it? You have K through 12, and you have 4 years of college, and you have a 2-year master's degree, and then another like 2-3 years for a doctorate, and then you get to actually have a job. Congratulations. So I'm probably just gonna take on more students in the meantime while I get ready to, because I have to sort all this shit out too. It's not just like buying a plane ticket and flying over. It's you have to go through visa applications. You have to get some sort of sponsor. It's a long, involved process. So I'm somewhat happy that I'm starting that now rather than later, as spring's generally a good time to sort all that shit out. So that I may actually, completely unrelated, as I'm not bound by school time frames, but I would probably go over this in the summer. So yeah, that's pretty much where my life is at right now. I've been practicing a ridiculous amount, and I have one other. I figure that while I have my sights set to travel abroad, before I go, as I will most likely not have a piano wherever I end up. It would be just completely over the top awesome if I did, but this is just, I can't get over this. Like when I first saw it, I opened it out of the box. I was like, wow. But I figured that I would learn one of two pieces. I think like 90% of me is wanting to go with the hammer clavier. But the Diabella variations, both of them are hands down considered the most difficult pieces that Beethoven ever wrote. Most people generally tip that in favor of the hammer clavier, because it's such a long sonata. But the Diabella variations run, I think, around an hour if you play them consecutively, roughly the same performance time of the hammer clavier. just because the third movement's so fucking long. But amazing. They're up there. Like the Diabello variations too are up there with the Goldberg variations as the best theme and variation set ever written. For any instrument ever. And if you haven't listened to them, it's completely worth a listen. Beethoven's variations on a theme by Diabelli, or the so-called Diabelli variations, obviously because of the name. Yeah, piano music is generally pretty, especially classical music, is pretty straightforward like that. When you get into like the modern era, you have like random shit, even if it's just a technical sonata. You have like random as fuck names, and it makes it confusing toward what you're actually looking for. Especially in like music libraries and shit. Just it's annoying. But yeah, that will be, and I will learn it before I go, regardless of what I end up choosing. So I'll probably have a couple months to learn that before I actually leave. So I don't know. It should be cool regardless. I just felt like sharing that with you, as I didn't actually put out a vlog last week because I'm a horrible fucking person. And yeah, I still have a fair amount of shit to get done. It was just like, oh my god. So, a funny story, right? Time for one funny story before I part. I had one requirement that I completely overlooked in my graduation. So the dean emailed me like 2 weeks ago, and he was like, "Chris, I need this to be done." I was like, "The fuck? I thought I did that." So it was actually like, you just had to play through scales and arpeggios, and I haven't practiced. My freshman year of college was 5 years ago, right? I hadn't practiced scales and arpeggios since 5 years ago. Obviously, when you're like preparing to audition and shit, nobody fucking practices scales and arpeggios anymore, except for like teachers like me that should be doing it, but like, no. So I had effectively had to learn, like, completely relearn all of that shit in, like, I think I had 2 or 3 days. So I did it, and, like, I didn't feel like shit or anything, but it's so boring and time-consuming, and just, like, it's not fun, it's not enjoyable, it's just, like, work, and, it's just, it's that kind of shit that just makes you want to face desk repeatedly. But yeah, that was really funny because it was like, what the fuck? I wasn't pissed because, I wasn't pissed because I had to do it or anything. I was just pissed because I had completely overlooked it, and it completely ruined my 3 days. I was like, I got that email. It's like, fuck. Yeah. It's like Dexter has, or what, Michael C. Hall in the Showtime show Dexter. He has the best, like, fuck face. He just, like, closes his eyes like, fuck. That's what I felt like when I was reading the email. So I hope you guys enjoyed this somewhat, and yeah, that was pretty much it. I actually went on an epic search, an epic conquest for pork cheeks today, but ended up having to just go for shoulder cut. Really unfortunate. I didn't find it, but instead I went to, there's a really good homemade ice cream place in town, so I went there and I got myself a mint chocolate chip, and I rarely ever have ice cream. But when I do, damn straight, it's going to be Bassett's. So if you live in Philly and you know what I'm talking about, fuck yeah, Bassett's is awesome. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you have a good week and the rest of the day, despite the fact that it is cloudy and miserable and cold as fuck outside. I'll see you later. Peace.